And once again, we have to discuss the election results of 2020. I just got done reading an article from Just the News. It's a website that I check out quite frequently, and so far I have never heard of this website ever being accused of reporting false information. That's why I go there quite a bit, because when they report something, I'm not going to sit here and say it's guaranteed they're telling the truth, but I can say that I have never seen anywhere where Just the News was caught reporting a lie or pushing a lie or anything. It's always been on the up and up. So this particular article here that I read this morning is pertaining to the 2020 election. And the White House has released more documents, and in these documents, more and more evidence is coming out to show that the election in 2020 was not the most secure election that there ever was. There's so many things that happened at that time. Like, okay, I remember hearing that there was these different districts all across the country where, now again, I don't know what the exact numbers were, but we'll say in this one particular district, there had been approximately for that year and the previous 10 years, 100,000 people that would come out and vote in every election. But for some reason, in the 2020 election, there was 175,000 or almost 200,000 votes that happened in an area that had previously only been 100,000. So, in other words, the 100,000 people came out and voted, but then mysteriously there was another 100,000, 75 to 100,000 new voters that came out in an area that only had 100,000 voters. Didn't make sense, and of course it was one of those situations where I guess you couldn't dispute it, but it just seemed odd. And I heard a lot of that. Now, in these documents that came out, I've got to review them and see what the hell they say, but they're probably going to be saying something along that effect, that certain areas had more mail-in ballots that came in than normal. There's just so many ways that people could have cheated. But apparently this new stuff from the article that I read from Just the News, this article is saying that there were definitely foreign influence, meaning people from other countries have somehow got into our voting system and screwed with it. And again, all of these things that happen to benefit Joe Biden, obviously, because Donald Trump lost the election. But did he really lose the election? When all of these things get investigated, I just wish that they would come out with rock solid proof. Because we all know that Joe Biden could not have, on an honest level, he could not have won the election. There is no way. When he was going through his own primaries, his own party didn't even want him, just like Kamala Harris. These people didn't even really make it out of the gate in their own primaries when they first ran for president. Their own party didn't even want them. So how in the hell can you say 10 or 12 months later that all of these people that didn't want him all of a sudden turned around and said, oh yeah, we want him? And a whole bunch of people from the right left the right and went and voted for him. How can you say that with a straight face and honestly believe that? It doesn't make any sense at all. But this is kind of what some people are claiming, and I don't I don't buy it for a minute. I do believe that a lot of things happened in that 2020 election, and it's all water under the bridge now. There's not a lot you can do about it. except for do what we can now to secure future elections so that this crap doesn't happen again. And okay, so Donald Trump didn't get to be president from 2020 to 2024. Okay, or actually 2021 to 2024. Okay, I can accept that, knowing that he probably did legally win that election, but because of the numbers that were there, Joe Biden got it for 4 years. Well, I'm trying to look at it from this perspective. There was 4 years that Donald Trump could have been president, but he wasn't. Okay. But the country had 4 more years to see what happens when you have a Democrat in office. Now, you look at the way the country is right now. Now, things aren't perfect by no means, no, but they're a hell of a lot better than what they were between 21 and 24. You can't deny it. You cannot deny it. Things are better. Grocery prices, from what I'm understanding, is starting to come down. Gas prices are starting to come down a little bit. And if we didn't have that problem in Iran, look where everything would be now. That's the big thing that's keeping everything kind of riled up, is that Iran situation. And I am in hopes that Trump can do something to end this situation. It's really, I don't know how you do it though. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's a whole other video. I want to stick to this election stuff. And today, when I get done running my errands, I'm running my errands right now. When I get back, I'm going to see if I can find all these documents that's been released from the White House. And I'm going to find out what the heck is going on here. What new evidence has been released. And I'm really curious to see what it is. I've got a gut feeling it's only going to be more of the same evidence that has been released, where mail-in ballots, that was the big one right there, I think. And that was internally in the country. Now, any foreign stuff that happened, near as I can tell, there is a claim that during the election of Biden, during that time, there was outside help from other countries that were producing the ballots with Joe Biden votes already on them and being shipped here via the U.S. mail, and then people getting it in the mail, and then they take it and put all them ballots in a drop-off box. And they were mail-in ballots that didn't have to have IDs. I mean, that right there alone, that right there could have, and more than likely did, win the election for Joe Biden in 2020. There's no question in my mind, and that's my opinion. I know you may disagree with it, and that's fine. Pop right down in the comments and let me hear what you have to say. I definitely want to hear what you have to say. I'm saying what I'm saying, and I want you to say what you can say. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are, Joe Biden won that fair and square and all this other stuff. Well, I disagree. I totally and completely disagree. And it isn't so much the well, I wanted Donald Trump to be president. He wasn't. Joe Biden got it for the 4-year term. He got it. He got what he wanted. You lefties got what you wanted. You got your left-wing guy in there. And look at the friggin' mess that the country was in at the end of it. And a lot of people saw that. So you may have looked at it as a win and you got your way. But you also had another 4 years of showing people across the country, voters, exactly what happens when Democrats have that kind of power sitting in the White House. It just makes things worse. So I'm in hopes that all of these elections that we have coming up, I personally hope that Democrats do not win. Their policies are absolutely horrible. And now that your party has the progressives that have all the power, and they're the ones that are winning all the elections. Well, I should say these primaries. They're now chewing up their own and spitting them out. All of the good Democrats, the moderates and the independents and those people, you guys chewed them up and spit them out by electing the progressive, what do they call themselves now? The Democratic Socialists of America. Yeah, they can't call themselves who they really are. They're progressives. That's what they are. They're communists. And I think it's going to cost you the general elections all the way around. And you guys got what you wanted, but just remember, you got what you wanted. Don't wish too hard, because you'll get it. And I think these elections are going to show it. It's going to cost you these elections, and right-wingers are going to get in, and hopefully we can get rid of all of this crazy stuff of. And I've been talking about it in my last few videos of getting rid of the police, getting rid of ICE, closing down prisons. And the parts that I can't understand are getting rid of the police. That one's a hard one to understand, the logic behind it. And the other one is this support for transvestites, grown men, wearing dresses in drag, and then putting on their drag shows in schools for children to see. But not high school, but grade school kids. This stuff here I don't understand either. I don't get it. I do not get it. And I don't understand parents that are in support of this. I do not get it. All of this stuff, in my opinion, is just wrong. Now, if a full-grown man wants to dress like a woman, act like a woman, talk like a woman, be a woman, and a woman wants to be a man, that too. Yes, this is America. You're free to pursue whatever makes you happy. Okay, I have no problem with you people doing that. If that's what you want to do, that's your happiness, that's the lifestyle you want to choose, you're free to do it. I have no problem with that. But don't go pushing it on the kids. Leave the kids the hell alone. Stay away from the children. You don't need to be putting that into their heads at that age. When they get older, when they get to 18, 20 years old, they get adults, they're not with their parents anymore, and that's a lifestyle they want to choose then welcome to. But as kids, you need to leave them the hell alone. And it's all of this stuff right here why I want Democrats out of the picture. If Democrats could be like they were 30 years ago and at least, have some morals and have, core values and principles that they stand on, that's the Democrat that I want. The Democrat of today, forget it. Okay, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video. Have a good weekend. Today is Saturday, August 8th, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. Take care.